Welcome to another episode of the Adrienne Ross Show, where sports and culture connect. And sometimes it's not just the culture out there. Sometimes it's real time. But I digress. So glad that you are tuned in. Looking forward to the Indiana Fever game against the Connecticut Sun tonight. I'm going to talk a little bit, however, about the New York Liberty playing against the Indiana Fever and some of the narratives that I'm hearing, actually a narrative that I'm hearing about the Fever winning that game. But first, let me insert something for those of you who don't know. This is a Commissioner's Cup game. The Indiana Fever is trying to make it to the finals of the Commissioner's Cup. For them to do that, two things have to happen. The Fever must defeat the Connecticut Sun tonight, June 17th. They also need a little bit of help. They need the New York Liberty to defeat the Atlanta Dream. No team ever wants to be in this situation, right? You always want to be in a situation where what you do determines your fate. But they're in the situation where they have to do what they need to do to win. Then they have to look and see and hope that the New York Liberty will take care of business on their behalf. This is what I want to say. The Indiana Fever not only helped the team by obviously winning on Saturday against the previously undefeated New York Liberty, but the Indiana Fever helped the Indiana Fever also because a team like New York that just lost to Indiana, just lost to anyone really, a team defending champions, you were undefeated, you got this pride about you, you don't appreciate going down like you did. A team like that is going to come out with a vengeance. So Indiana helped itself by beating New York because Atlanta is a tough team, but New York is going to come out all ablaze. So that win on Saturday could also mean a win on Tuesday tonight. So good job, because I am sure you have New York fired up, Indiana, and they can help you out by beating Atlanta. But you, Indiana, cannot do what you did before, and that is lose to Connecticut. Gave Connecticut the first win. This was the strangest thing, right? So Indiana gave Connecticut's first win, and Indiana gave New York the first loss. I did a video before the game when they played Connecticut before, and I said, don't sleep on Connecticut. They haven't won a game, but those people tend to play looser because they don't really have much to lose. I mean, they got another game to lose, but there's a certain amount of freedom because there's really not the same kind of pressure on them. And lots of times teams will play down to their opponent. And so it turns out I was right and they lost the game. I wasn't predicting they would lose the game. I predicted, my belief was that they would win, but I knew there was a possibility. Okay, so let me get to what I want to talk about now. We're still talking about the Liberty game. I'm hearing some people talk about the fact that Jonquel Jones and Leone Fibich were not in the game where the Fever beat New York, as if there's an asterisk next to that win. And I'm not just talking about people who just can't stand the Indiana Fever or can't stand Caitlin Clark. I'm talking about even people who are Indiana Fever fans. I've seen a few comments, and I said to someone in the comment section yesterday, I said, you know what? I've been hearing this. I'm thinking I'm going to do a video on this because I want to say some things about that. Here's my commentary on it. When I, as a member of a team, show up on my home court or away, whatever the case may be, when I show up to play another team, it is not my business whether that team has a player out due to injury. It's not my business. My business is to play basketball. My business is to win games. Everybody, it seems, has somebody out hurt. Nobody said anything when the Fever was losing games. I didn't hear a lot of people saying, oh my goodness, it's not so bad because Caitlin Clark. I mean, I tried to keep it real and say it's a whole different team with Caitlin on the floor, but they didn't make excuses. They didn't go to the post game and just say, well, that team didn't really beat us because we didn't have Caitlin Clark. And then Sid had got hurt a little bit. And then Sophie Cunningham was out. And then Coach Stephanie White. And then all these the personal issues that people are dealing with that maybe they're not talking about. And then we got to bring in Ari. And no, they lost. That's the way it was. That's the way it was because that's the way it is. When you are an athlete, your job is to show up and perform. The Indiana, not the Indiana Fever too, but also the New York Liberty, that's not the only team where people are out. This is the WNBA, the Physicality League. And in this Physicality League, people were banged up and jacked up before one game was even played in the 2025 season. So everybody's dealing with stuff. Now, in other leagues, you hear people say things like toward the end of the season, you'll hear them say, this time of the season, everybody's got somebody banged up. Everybody's playing through hurt, playing through injury. But this is the WNBA. So early in the season, they say it's lots of people are injured. It was in Unrivaled. Some people still jacked up from Unrivaled, and they come in this season. So if you are a real baller, if there's a weakness in a team, if there is a weakness, you exploit the weakness. You don't hold back and say, well, I'm not going to go all out because Jonquel Jones and Phoebich aren't in the, no, it's their responsibility as a team to step up. And let's be honest, the New York Liberty did beat teams without Jones and Phoebich, right? So whether it's one, whether it's two, whatever the situation is, everybody finds themselves in a situation where they have to win. And you don't come with excuses. You come with your game. So what the Fever is supposed to do is show up and run your game plan and stomp the mess out of them. I'm not going to wait till they come back so that I can prove that I can beat them. Now, your mindset has to be, I don't care who's on the floor. We're going to play Fever basketball. Or if you're a New York Liberty, I don't care who's out of the lineup. It's time for everybody to step up and bring your A game. And I'm sure that's what New York did. They brought what they had, but Indiana was too much. And so there's no, well, that's an asterisk on the win. And let's not get too excited because Jonquel Jones wasn't on the floor. Jonquel Jones is an incredible basketball player. So is Caitlin Clark. And the Fever had to do what the Fever had to do without her. And other teams didn't take it easy and say, oh, we got an asterisk around our win. No. In fact, we're going to turn it up. We're going to turn it up. Ask a Kobe Bryant or a Michael Jordan what they think about wins where a particular player was out. Okay, then put it right there in the gut, get the win. And the way I see it, all you got to do is look back at the first game where the Fever got a loss and the officials helped with that loss in the final time, the final minutes of that game. So they could have easily won that game then. And Jonquel Jones was on the floor. And without the help of the officiating with the Lexi Hall situation down there, with Sabrina Ionescu, and then of course with Natasha Cloud. I mean, come on, somebody. So yeah, the argument that they couldn't have won without them, I'm not buying it. And even still, that's not my business. My business is to play basketball and to take it to you. And their business is to figure out how to win. And I hope they figure out how to win tonight, because if the Fever wins tonight, along with the New York Liberty winning, finals of the Commissioner's Cup. That's my rant. Onward and upward. I'll catch you next time, God willing. God bless you abundantly.